Matt Cameron's announcement in July 2025 that he was stepping away from Pearl Jam after 27 years felt like the closing of an era in rock history. The drummer, who had lived and breathed the Seattle sound for nearly 4 decades, made his decision quietly via a heartfelt Instagram post. After 27 fantastic years, I have taken my final steps down the drum riser for the mighty Pearl Jam. He thanked bandmates Jeff Ament, Eddie Vedder, Mike McCready, and Stone Gossard for an opportunity of a lifetime, filled with friendships, artistry, challenges, and laughter, and assured fans that more to follow. His exit came at age 62, shortly after the release of Pearl Jam's 12th studio album, Dark Matter, and the culmination of a world tour that ended in spring 2025, marking a powerful full stop to a chapter that began in 1998. Cameron's musical identity had roots that predated Pearl Jam. Born November 28, 1962, in San Diego, he was a child of rhythm, enthralled by beats, marching percussion, anything with pulse. He joined cover bands at 14 and took private drum lessons during his teens. By the time he was 20, he'd moved to Seattle and immersed himself in its creative scene. There, he became involved with Skinyard and later, in 1986, became the drumming backbone of Soundgarden, a decision that would change his and rock's trajectory forever. With Soundgarden, Cameron anchored some of the most definitive records of the grunge era: Bad Motorfinger, Super Unknown, Down on the Upside, and others. On Super Unknown, released in 1994 and debuting at #1 on the Billboard charts, his powerful yet nuanced drumming electrified tracks like Spoon Man and Fell on Black Days. The band won Grammy Awards, and Cameron was praised for drumming as thoughtful as it is heavy. His ability to balance intricate grooves with raw power made him not just a rock drummer, but a musician of depth and complexity. Soundgarden disbanded in 1997, and Cameron found himself at a crossroads. Soon after, in 1998, Pearl Jam called. Their original drummer had left, and they needed someone capable of both technical precision and emotional drive. Cameron joined the band mid-yield tour, jumping into a vast catalog. He described that time as intense, learning songs on the fly, syncing up, adapting quickly. He fit in easily, thanks to his wide-ranging influences and deep respect for the craft, and quickly became integral to their sound, both live and in the studio. By the time Pearl Jam released Binaural in 2000, Cameron's mark was clearly stamped. His drumming was tight and textured, capable of powering long crescendos and nuanced ballads alike. He remained with the band through every album since: Riot Act, Backspacer, Gigaton, and Dark Matter, cementing a legacy extending nearly 3 decades across studio albums and sold-out world tours. His final album, Dark Matter, released in April 2024, was hailed as their most cohesive work in years. The opening track surged like a wake-up call. His cymbal work and rhythm felt like conversations, not just beats. In those years, Cameron proved to be more than a hired hand. He became a creative force. He contributed songwriting ideas, polishes, and rhythmic shifts to live-in studio songs. Pearl Jam referred to him as a bandmate with consistent musical vision, a friend for life, not just a rhythm source. Their statement upon his departure was clear. He has propelled the last 27 years of Pearl Jam live shows and studio recordings. It was a deeply important chapter for our group, and we wish him well always. Meanwhile, Cameron continued to nurture his love of experimentation. In 2013, he formed Drumgasm alongside Janet Weiss, Sleater Kinney, and Zach Hill, Death Grips, resulting in a sprawling, improvised drum album praised for its raw energy and symphonic mayhem. He released solo works including Cave Dweller, 2017, and Gory Scorch Cretins, 2023, allowing him to explore percussion in jazz, electronics, and freeform. He also formed side projects like Wellwater Conspiracy and played in Tone Dogs and Hater. He worked with Tony Iommi, Eleven, Geddy Lee, and others, never resting and always exploring. After Soundgarden reunited in 2010, Cameron served double duty, drumming for both Soundgarden and Pearl Jam. He booked studio time, managed tour schedules, and transitioned seamlessly between bands. That life ended in tragedy when Chris Cornell died by suicide in 2017, and Soundgarden disbanded permanently. Throughout heartbreak and loss, Cameron continued to show up for Pearl Jam and fans globally. Recognition for his skill came through inductions into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, not once but twice. In 2017, he joined Pearl Jam in the Hall. In 2025, Soundgarden was inducted, placing him among rare artists with 2 inductions. Critics also ranked him among the greatest drummers of all time. Rolling Stone placed him at number 52, praising his ability to fuse complexity, emotion, and precision. In his personal life, Cameron has been equally measured and steady. He married April Aceves in 1997, and together they raised 2 children, Ray and Josie. A dedicated father, runner, and private man, he made sure the demands of rock history never overshadowed family life. He and April reside in Woodway, Washington, where he trains, composes, and enjoys reading, particularly Franz Kafka. As of July 2025, with his departure from Pearl Jam, Cameron hinted at more to come. His deep well of creativity remains overflowing. Whether through production, collaborations, mentorship, or studio percussion, he hinted at continuing involvement in music. His physical health is still managed, and at 62, he remains active, running and composing, proving there's no expiration date on vision. In live performances, Cameron's impact has been profound. Fans recount his quiet strength behind the drum kit, steady, unflashy, but foundational. Reddit threads and fan communities recall specific moments where his fills framed Eddie Vedder's vocal crescendos or carried Mike McCready's solos into space. His drum tech, Greg Keplinger, once described how Cameron's skill went beyond rhythm. He tuned drums like instruments, shaping tone with as much care as any guitarist's riff. His legacy also reflects an artist comfortable respecting tradition and pushing boundaries. In Seattle's early grunge scene, he helped define a sound: aggressive, soulful, drugged up, self-aware. In Pearl Jam, he steered a mature veteran band toward new textures without forgetting roots. He defied genre labels: metal, grunge, alternative, experimental, and showed how a drummer's role is equal parts architectural and emotional. As critics note, Cameron's departure marks a shift not just for Pearl Jam, but for rock music at large. At 62, he could have cracked under the physical toll of drumming. Yet he drummed until he chose to stop. When he walked away, he did so with choice and grace, not fatigue or crisis. As health issues grow more prevalent among aging rockers, Foo Fighters' Josh Freese, The Who's Zach Starkey, Guns N' Roses' Frank Ferrer, Cameron's decision feels proactive and empowering. What comes next remains unwritten. One possibility is further solo work, diving into jazz percussion, big band collaborations, or soundtrack scoring. He could release memoirs, clinic tours, or coaching sessions. His Instagram hinted at more creative chapters to come. At 62, he isn't retiring, he's evolving. Matt Cameron's story is not just about drums or bands, it's about dedication, sliding from high school covers to stadiums, about resiliency, rebuilding after Cornell, about versatility, defining multiple musical eras, and about connection, family, friends, fans. His exit from Pearl Jam prompted outpourings of gratitude. He will be deeply missed and is forever our friend in art and music. His departure is less an end than a pivot. When historians reflect on 1990s music, Cameron's name will stand at that critical seam between grunge's raw power and the introspection of alternative rock. And when Pearl Jam continues without him, their sound will echo with his influence. He is a rare drummer whose absence is felt not only in tempo, but in soul. As the cymbals fade on Dark Matter, fans hold their breaths, not for silence, but for what comes next. The drum riser may stand empty, but the rhythm, Matt's rhythm, will not. It lives on in records, in crowds chanting. It lives on in every beat the next generation learns from. And for one of rock's greatest, the story forever continues.